Have you ever wondered how America got into this foreclosure crisis, or why it's been so bad? Today, we are going to discuss how the problems with home loans in this country got as bad as they did. Hi, I'm Jim Keaveney of the Keaveney Legal Group. We are a New Jersey and Pennsylvania-based law firm that focuses on helping clients avoid foreclosure. It seems like nearly every day we have someone come into our offices and ask us how the foreclosure crisis began and how it got so bad. Join me today as we explore this interesting story together. First, America experienced what we call a housing bubble. A bubble occurs in the economy when market conditions create enormous demand. This leads to artificially inflated prices. In the case of the housing bubble, banks made it easier to obtain financing for home loans, causing a higher than normal demand for property. Builders began pumping huge numbers of fresh houses and condominiums onto the market, which, for a time, buyers snapped up as soon as they were available. This led to a sudden increase in the home prices as there was less housing on the market than the demand for it. Unfortunately, this sort of unrestrained growth can rarely last for an extended period of time. Eventually, the market became saturated and supply exceeded demand. As millions of new homes sat empty and unsold, banks began absorbing the cost of builders defaulting on their construction loans. This led to attempts to sell off the now bank-owned construction projects. To minimize losses, banks would drastically reduce the prices of these properties. This, in turn, caused a huge drop in the home values. Moreover, during the height of the housing boom, a great deal of creative financing was used to facilitate home purchases. These included adjustable rate mortgages, financing more than 100% of the value of the home, and so forth. While these seemed reasonable options at a time when housing was increasing and a price at such a drastic rate, when the bubble burst and home values plummeted, it suddenly became nearly impossible to refinance or sell a property. This left millions of Americans with overpriced homes and mortgages they could no longer pay. Add to that the effect of this sudden downturn in housing had on the economy and the millions of Americans who lost their jobs as a result, and you have the ingredients for both a recession and a foreclosure crisis. What made it worse was that creative financing I mentioned a moment ago. Unfortunately, banks were all too willing to lend money to people who could not afford it. They would lend on properties that were way over reasonable market value, and they would create terms for the financing that were going to make the loans impossible for the borrower to repay in time. Property values were going up, so people assumed everyone would be able to refinance their houses or sell them with little effort before the payments became unaffordable. Unfortunately, when the housing bubble burst, this became impossible, and everyone recognized the folly of the banks' overly liberal lending policies. To make matters worse, the banks began cutting corners. One of the best known is the so-called robo-signing fiasco. In this instance, loans were being approved, securitized, transferred, and recorded, all without having actual people reviewing them as required by law. The results were millions of errors, like improperly approved loans, loans assigned to more than one servicer, loans that were improperly recorded in the public records, violations of security laws, etc. Of course, the real victims of the foreclosure crisis have been us, the homeowners. As a result, at the Keaveney Legal Group, we help clients with their home loans and the fallout of the foreclosure crisis every day. We will be happy to discuss the circumstances of your situation with you to help you determine the best appropriate course of action for your loan and help you avoid foreclosure. For a free, no-obligation consultation, give us a call at 1-800-219-0939 or email me at jim@keaveneylegalgroup.com. We look forward to helping you make your home loan more affordable. I'm Jim Keaveney, and thanks for watching.